Hello, this is Redwind.
This is Sonora. We have a doozy of an episode this time. Two-handed ranged weapons. It's the one that everybody wants to know about.
Yeah, it's one of the bigger portions of the game.
Yeah. So these are the ones that are most obtrusive. They have I don't know if that popped up on the screen red when adjusting the volume. There was a little loud. They're the ones that mess with your movement the most. They're the ones that deal the most damage. They're very important to have a good understanding of how they work. Oh yeah, we're off for this. And so as usual, we're just going to run through and Redmond, if you can green in here. Green in.
Oh yeah, sorry.
We're gonna fast forward just a couple minutes once we have everything all lined up. So we'll be right back.
It's the worst weapon in the worst place it could possibly be.
Leave it there.
Hey guys, here's a short clip. We thought this was funny. It's the worst weapon in the game and the worst place it possibly could be.
Yeah, I have no idea how that ended up there. I've never seen anything like that. Ouch. I've seen weapons show up in odd places, but I have no idea how that might have happened. That's beyond me.
Got stuck in the downstairs.
Okay, so we got everything lined up here in this beautiful little line in order from what we think, everything's situational, but worst to best in general.
We did it so much faster than normal. I was so pleased.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, even with episodes that have had less items to grab than this, have taken way longer. I was very pleased.
Yeah, well, we accidentally on Egypt because I accidentally hit random instead of Brazil. But that's beside the point, neither here nor there. Let's get started. Redmond, if you'll show us the Proton Gun.
Oh yeah, it's my honor.
Worst gun in the game by far.
Okay, so should we show what it does at maximum damage?
Yeah, sure. Look at the damage it does. It does solid damage if you can hit the opponent with you. See how fast my health goes down? But the problem is it has no knockback effect, so I can just walk up, punch him, and it makes him drop it.
But also it just. You can't lock on because it's a two-handed weapon. You can't lock on with any of these.
Yeah,
none of these shoots such a short beam, and the
beam probably wouldn't hit me if I was just about here.
Yeah, it wouldn't, and it does just as much damage as the flamethrower, if I'm correct.
No, it does more damage than the flamethrower. But
it does. Okay.
Yeah, but and it has that load time. If it goes ping, if it didn't have the load time, then you could use it for some free damage every now and then. But
if it had like a,
it's terrible.
If it had something where the longer you hit, it might actually knock the person over, that could be good. But it has some knockback effects, so that really just makes it terrible.
And it's heavy. So there are kind of two categories that are just kind of named ourselves, heavy and light. Like the flamethrower on my left and the minigun on my right, in addition to the rocket launcher right here that I'm staring down its barrel, and the proton gun. Those are all heavy weapons, which means when you pick them up, you move real slow. You move like this fast, and you can't dash, you can't jump, you can't fly. So it's just pretty useless.
Yeah.
Okay, next we got the machine gun. Basically, it looks like an AK-47, but it's called machine gun, and this is next worst because look how little damage it does. You'll see comparative to the other two-handed ranged weapons, which are so powerful because they deal tons of damage. It doesn't lock on. None of these lock on. It has no area of effect. Its accuracy is pretty bad, and it's just...
It doesn't have very much ammo either.
Yeah, it doesn't have much ammo. It's
for
really hard to hit somebody with. That gun would be a lot better, and it would be still pretty average if it had unlimited ammo. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, forgot damages, because that's what we've been doing. For the Proton Gun, it deals 1 or 2 damage. It's just kind of RNG. But it deals 1 or 2 damage every little bit, but they come so fast that you just realize how much damage it does. It does solid damage, you just won't hit with it. Machine gun deals 2 damage per shot. I think it's worse than the Uzi for a lot of reasons.
Well, because the Uzi can lock on, and it's much more annoying to the person.
Yeah. Next we got the Flamethrower. Flamethrower deals 1 to 3 damage per shot, and I want to showcase its it has a nice range stare there, but it takes some time to get to the person. Like you see that, like when I first start shooting, it takes some time to get to them. That's an important factor about it. It deals solid damage, has a ton of ammo after the update.
Yeah, because originally it didn't have that much, but whenever we were making the other videos with other items and stuff, whenever we picked up other items just to get rid of them and have new item drops, for fun, we would just shoot the guns at each other. And whenever I got a flamethrower, I would just spin in circles, and it felt like I was doing it for 30 seconds.
I just ran out of it. I mean, it's tons of ammo. It's pretty nice. You'll rarely hit with it, though.
It's really just something that if the other person picks up like a sword, you
if you're in the power zone, it's sometimes okay.
Yeah, it's so situational, but you know, even if they have a sword,
but it's buying away better than the Proton Gun. It's just a lot easier to hit with.
It's just a better version of the Proton Gun, so just never pick up the Proton Gun. Is basically what we're saying.
But it does deserve its spot behind the minigun. The minigun deals nice, good damage. You see how much that already took him down. You're the other side of the map.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll see, pay attention when I next press this, it does have a short loading time. See that? Just a short one. But this is a great one because it reaches across the map and it's pretty easy sometimes, you know, if the person's trying to avoid you, to just pick it up, get some free damage from across the map.
Yeah, but
obviously the closer the person is, the
more bullets
will hit.
So, you know, as I get closer... But it is another...
That was not the game.
Yeah, that was...
mine.
That was... I didn't even know that you were doing that. Next gun is the shotgun.
I didn't talk about the damage.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, minigun does 3 damage per shot, and it shoots much faster than you know, like something like the machine gun. It's just a lot better. Now it is heavy, so that's a bit annoying. So don't try to pick it up. Don't try to pick up any of the close range, the heavy weapons in close range, except the rocket launcher. So.
Yeah, the rocket launcher is just the exception to pretty much everything.
Yeah. Okay, now we got the shotgun here.
Yeah, so the shotgun, it's a light weapon, so you can jump and you can dash with it and stuff.
Same as the machine gun.
Yeah, and it does pretty good damage. I'd say one of the main things that makes it great is its knockback effect.
Yeah.
You can just stop people dead in their tracks and stuff. It's pretty hard to hit with, but it's pretty worth it just because, you know, you've got a lot of freedom to move around with it. And it has a good amount of ammo, but I'm already out now.
Yeah, I mean, I never felt like it had a great amount of ammo, but it's not too bad.
It could do with more, but it's kind of like dead in the middle. It's something that you see, you can pick it up. It's
not like the top 3 where you're counting their ammo as you go along.
Yeah.
So the shotgun deals 4 to 25 damage, just depending on how close you are to the person, how solidly you hit them. And that knockback effect can be really important. It fires immediately, so that's really nice. A lot of these have some kind of loading animation, but that one fires immediately. You get a knockback effect. It's great to counter some aerial assault strategies.
Yeah, you can actually knock people over with it when they're in the air.
When they're in the air. And if you hit them real close in quick succession, they'll reel back, and then you hit them again, and then they'll fall over. But
it's hard to do.
It doesn't happen very often. Okay, so next we got the Railgun, which is what Redwood's holding right now. One of the favorite guns, I would say.
Now, it's extremely hard to aim because it has this big load-up time, and it has a lot of kickback, too. Like, if you watch me, like, I just shoot back. And even when he's standing still, it's kind of hard to aim it. And it also only has 3 shots. But you can see it does solid damage. It's one of those things that... It's a really good pickup, because if you hit them once, it's easier to hit them again. But also, hitting them once is totally worth it.
Yeah, because 50 damage, and you can do it from pretty good range. It reaches almost all the way across.
Yeah,
it reaches like 2/3 across most maps.
It's a really nice gun.
Yeah. And one thing that should be noted is it's really not as hard to aim as he made it sound. Like, it is hard to aim. Don't get me wrong, but
hit pretty often.
You can move your view while it's doing that loading animation.
Yes.
And so you basically, it's just a delayed shot. The other person knows it's coming. It doesn't actually change really how effective you are at aiming.
Yeah.
It just gives the other person a little warning. 50 damage, really nice. If you remember about the one-handed melee weapons, none of at their max they do half that. You remember the two-handed melee weapons, some of them never deal that much damage. So pretty nice damage, especially to be doing at range. And next we got the rocket launcher. The highest single damage of a weapon in the game. It shoots immediately. Should be noted that 70 damage, really nice. Relatively hard to hit with most of the time. Usually you end up getting an area effect like that, where you take something more like 30 damage.
But it also...
Or 35.
It shoots in a perfectly straight line. It is heavy, but like, you know, if he just stands there...
If he shoots, and I was paying attention, for example, you see how slow the projectile moves? Yeah. I did one dash and never pushed the...
But it goes in a perfectly straight line, something to keep in mind, because other ones, like the one we're about to get to, has like an arc. This one, you can just shoot it straight up and it just...
Oh yeah, and it does no maximum range.
Yeah, it just goes perfectly straight. And I thought there was...
I thought there was a ceiling too.
Apparently there isn't a ceiling.
That's a first.
I meant to shoot like the wall.
Wait, what does that mean for Vidar? Because she can like teleport straight up.
That's a really good question.
Okay, we're gonna test that at the end of this video. Okay, so
I was just waiting for it to explode the whole time.
Yeah, me too. Okay,
because it'll explode when it hits this wall too.
Yeah. Okay, so last one that we got is this here, the grenade launcher. Definitely the best pickup. Probably better than the Claymore. I mean, I would say this is probably the best pickup. I would honestly maybe even prefer this to getting the blue canister.
I don't know.
A lot of the time.
I think that's a personal preference, who your character is, and the situation as a whole.
If I was vintage or Minigun.
Yes. Because their powers... Just in case you don't know this, vintage and Minigun.
I would rather have this as Setesh.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Anyways.
So the grenade launcher deals 15 to 30 damage. Depends on if you get a direct shot, or if you get...
sorry, I should have bounced up.
Or if you get an area of effect. You can get anywhere in between the 15 to 30 damage. It's really nice. 5 shots. The last 3 weapons that we've talked about, you need to be counting their shots, whether you have them or the opponent has them. Railgun has 3 shots, rocket launcher has 2, grenade launcher has 5. That's what makes the grenade launcher so great. And there's hardly any delay too in how quickly you can fire them.
Did we have a spare one that we picked up?
You didn't miss. I don't think so.
Okay.
Hopefully you didn't miss the one I shot 2 in quick succession. And
yeah, basically, you know, when we knock someone over, one of the best things to do as the person who got knocked over is to bounce back up so that you can quickly get away instead of laying on the ground. With that gun, that's one of the situations where you'll see more often one of us will actually stay on the ground.
Because if you stand back up, the other person's just going to snipe you.
Yeah, but sometimes they predict that you're going to, you know, stay on the ground and they'll just wait for you to get back up. It really is, if you get hit once with that thing, you're 50% more likely to get hit by it again.
Yeah.
Each time. If
the other
so
person
hard
picks
to
that
avoid.
up, you can pretty much settle for being hit at least twice. I mean, there have been a handful of times, and we've faced each other in, I don't know, 150 matches probably. And that's just, you know, since we started playing for real. And I mean, there have only been a handful of times where somebody has dodged all 5 shots, maybe 2 times that's happened.
And we mean that, like, not direct hits, but like total, like you didn't get any damage.
You didn't get hit at all when the other person had this.
Because most of the time, at least, you can, you know, shoot the ground and hit the person, you know, whether or not that be intentional. You pretty much always take damage from that gun. So that's why it is the best, because it's pretty much an every time thing that you get hit by it.
Yep. So then that's it for two-handed ranged weapons. The only other thing that I would say is here we're gonna here's one. Okay, so
yeah,
the
I was trying to get one to drop.
Is heavy right here. Okay,
Ooh.
You remember the flamethrower is heavy? I'll show you real quick. You know, this is the best I can do. I'm trying to dash, trying to jump. I can't do anything, and this is my maximum speed. It is massively important that you learn that you do this. If you ever want to use a heavy weapon, you dash through when you pick it up. You carry on your speed, and it gets me a good amount of distance.
Yeah, you don't want to pick it up and then try and catch the person if you're chasing them down or something like that.
Or if he was chasing me down, I could dash away, pick it up, and then by the time my dash is used up, and I'll already have started this animation, and that's the only time when you're gonna really get any kind of food.
Yeah, and you can see how much ammo that thing has. You know, it kind of just keeps me away for a while.
Well, no, I mean he'll come. Even if he was chasing after me, I would have gotten some damage, been able to drop it and run away because I started with the dash. Whereas normally, if I had tried to use that, I might not even get the loading animation finished before he punched me and made me drop it, and then I'm at a disadvantage.
Something that we may not have mentioned is how short this thing's range is. It's so imperative that you don't try and use it for range. Like, look at this. I'm gonna stand like up here and I'm shooting down, and that's like as far as it will ever go. I didn't even expect it to go that far. Honestly.
I didn't either.
Apparently, I got like the perfect.
Try to shoot me.
Right?
Yeah.
I actually
So you
pretty
see
good.
how high I had to angle it though.
Yeah.
So
its range. Its range is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Why is it shooting so far?
Well, I think it's because we're not in the game. This is not its effective range. This is its technical range. It's not its effective range.
Yeah. So most of the time, if someone's going and moving around,
look, if he shoots at me from that distance that he's been trying to hit stuff at.
Oh, I'm already out.
He's already out. Well, if he did, you get the idea.
He's got plenty of time.
It goes shot, land, then shot, dash, land. I am already well outside of the blast range.
Yeah, so it's
the effective range is much shorter in an actual.
You can't really hold your camera screen up like that when you're trying to shoot someone because you want to keep your camera on them. If I were to angle up like this, there is no way I'm going to be able to look back down and know where Enora is because he will have dashed off the side of the screen and taken advantage of the fact that I'm holding a two-handed weapon and I can't lock target on him and find him. So, of course I could just look at his screen, but I'm assuming most of you are not in that kind of circumstance playing online. Plus, I try not to look at his screen.
Okay. Well, that's it for two-handed ranged weapons. So
what is our next video about?
Our next video is about shields and collectibles, and that's the last one of the items, and then we'll be moving on to tournaments, and where we'll be displaying all of these tutorials that we've had. We get to see anything, complain about stuff that we do that's dumb. And
we'll also probably go over some tactics, whether or not that be in the tourneys themselves that we talked about them, or afterwards or something. But we'll talk about like some offensive and defensive tactics, and we can actually use those tourneys as examples for everything that we've shown you so far. So yeah, we hope that really helps you guys out, and that this really helped you guys out. And please ask us any questions you have in the comments too. We ask that you like and subscribe because we want this game to increase in popularity. It's got a lot of secrets hidden underneath, don't judge a book by its cover. It's kind of what we're trying to get across here, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, well, that should be it. So, until next time, I've been Enora.
And I've been Redwind.
We'll see you guys later.